Mr. Twitchy Tush here is what birders call an LBJ, little brown job. He's got the typical uninspiring sparrow streaking on his back, but at least during breeding season, the male has an appealing reddish crown atop his gray face to kickstart the hearts and hormones of the opposite sex. Here's one of them now. She has 2 brown or reddish stripes on the crown, same as white-throated sparrows do. And from the rear you could mistake her for a white-throat, especially the tan stripe morph of white-throat. You can skip the confusion, though, if you just remember that this swamp sparrow's face is gray. Plus, of course, if the bird turns to face you, you'll see that she has no yellow lores between the stripes. Besides stripes, the 2 species do share one important field mark, and that is a white throat. But we notice it more on the white-throated sparrow because his is outlined in black. Oh, and one more difference between the 2 species. The swamps aren't as bossy as a white-throat. Now, you don't usually see sparrows wading. I wouldn't call it bizarre. It's not like a penguin in the Sahara or something, but it isn't typical sparrow behavior either. Wading works for him, though. He has longer legs than other sparrows just for that purpose. And he's well named. He's seldom far from water, and wide marshes are his preferred habitat. But a creek will do nicely, thank you very much. We see him at our creek in Missouri during spring migration. He walks and hops along the verge of the water, weaving back and forth between dry and wet, and sometimes exploring the steep creek banks. He scampers around on a vertical bank like it was level ground. The swamp is an omnivore, but bugs are his favorite food. Little bugs, like, say, tiny spiders that hide under leaves. Most of what he picks up is too small for us to see. And even when he ventures to the creek bank where we've been throwing down dried mealworms to attract the birds, he'll only flake bits off the ends of them. He's not going to stand still in the open to chow down on that slab of meat. Too risky. If he's on the other bank now, the side that's brushy, and sees a mealworm floating down the water, he's likely to fetch it back to a private spot where he can sort of hide while he hammers at it. A brown thrasher now, or a robin, gargantuan birds from the sparrow's point of view, gobble a mealworm down whole quicker than a gasp. They check for hidden bugs by throwing these dead sycamore leaves into the air like so much brittle confetti. Well, that works if you're looking for bigger prey than the sparrow is. And the larger birds don't seem to mind calling attention to themselves in the process. Well, their technique suits their size. Swamp sparrows now, they can't do that. They weigh less than a whisper, 1/3 of an ounce, and could no more shower the ground with those brown leaves than a toddler could lift a barbell. So this bitsy bird applies finesse instead. He uses his small stature to his advantage, peeking easily under any leaf and quickly moving on. Always moving on. What a busy creature. He doesn't have to create an explosion to glean what he needs either. Closest he'll come to that is, like all sparrows, moving debris by kicking, which, as the bird himself might point out, lets him find bugs without advertising his presence to every predator in the neighborhood. So the thrashers and robins search a room by rummaging and ransacking, while the swamp sparrow meticulously examines one drawer after another.